Every day means every day. And I want to make this video right now to encourage somebody who feels like, man, nothing really matters. Like nobody's watching, nobody's paying attention to what I've got going on. I'm not getting the recognition that I deserve. I'm not getting the results that I feel like I deserve. I've put in the time, I've put in the effort, I've put in the work, but it just feels like, man, I'm not getting the traction that I feel like I should be getting right now. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I felt that way over and over and over again in my life. And every single time, without fail, that I have felt that way, something happens to me that it's like God's way of showing me just a little glimmer of hope. It's like the universe gives me a little, like it throws me a bone. It just gives me a little bit to chew on and say, no, 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 not so fast. Somebody's watching. Somebody cares. What you're doing is important. You're making an impact. You're moving the needle. Even if you don't feel the way that you expect it to feel, I promise you, the seeds that you are planting now, the seeds that you're sowing, they will reap a harvest. It's only a matter of time. Scripture says, write the vision and make it plain so he who reads it may run to it. And though it may tarry, in other words, though it might take a while, it will surely come at an appointed time. Now, the problem is we think that an appointed time is supposed to be on our timeline. And as we all know, that's really not how it works. So I just want to give you a quick example tonight that I think is going to encourage somebody. This has been a crazy, crazy season for me. As many of you know, if you follow the channel, and forgive me for not being consistent with the uploads, I gotta get better at that. But if you follow the channel, you know that I'm currently in prep for my very first natural bodybuilding show ever. And I decided, because I'm a psychopath, that I was going to make a run at my first 50K month as an entrepreneur while I'm in prep and in an incredibly strict caloric deficit, which the two really don't go together. But I'm like, you know what? Let's just lock in for, 8 weeks. Let's see what can happen. And specifically these 4 weeks leading up to the show, I really wanted to see what would happen if I went all in and focused on me and everything that I'm doing right now. And again, it's really easy to feel like things aren't working, but I just want to relay a couple things that happened over the last 48 hours. Number one, somebody that I work with on one of the high ticket closing offers that I work on, he hit me up and said, hey man, I listen to your YouTube every single day to kind of help me get fired up in the mornings. And I was like, dude, I didn't even promote that. Like, I don't even promote the YouTube channel anywhere. I don't cross-pollinate traffic from my Instagram, from TikTok. Like, I literally do not promote this channel. Not to mention, I haven't even messed with this thing in, 2, 3, 4 weeks? I haven't even been active on it. You said you listen to it every day? I said, man. And that applied some positive pressure to me to make this video tonight. If he hadn't said that, I wouldn't have made this video. I'll be completely honest with you. Number two, one of my buddies who lives in Arizona. I haven't been to Arizona in like 2 years. One of my buddies who lives in Arizona hit me up this morning, sent me a video. And it was a video of his Uber driver. And the guy said, man, you've blessed my life. I've heard you on some of the challenges, hosting the calls with ET and those guys. I've heard you speak. And the stuff that you said, man, it really blessed my life. It made a big impact on me. Thank you. And my buddy was like, hey, man, I found this guy. He was my Uber driver today. We got into a conversation about personal development and motivational speaking and all this stuff. He told me that he knew Eric Thomas and, followed all of his content. And I said, well, hey, you know Brandon Burns. And he was like, yeah, it's the guy that does the challenges. Oh, man, he said some stuff that really helped me out. I said, man, all I do is host those. I mean, I open them up, I close them out, I do the pitch and everything. And I had no idea. Never met this guy. Recently, I also had a 3-day event. And to be fair, I really didn't promote it. I didn't promote it on YouTube. I barely promoted it on Instagram. I really just reached out to a couple people that I felt like it would be a good fit for. And I wanted it to be an intimate event. I figured no more than 10 people. I had 6 people buy tickets and show up. Virtual kind of summit situation, 3 days. And I ended up making about 15 grand from that. Yeah, I told you I'm trying to make 50 in a month. I made 15 just from that 3-day event. From 6 people showing up. 6 people. So what am I telling you? What am I making this video for? Even though it might feel small today, the only way to earn the right to play in the big leagues, the only way to host an event and have 1,000 people show up, the only way to be a household name, the only way to be recognized, the only way to get the recognition you feel like your stuff deserves is to put in the work when it feels like no one's watching, when it feels like it doesn't matter, when it feels like you're trying, and nobody sees you. That is when you become the person that is worthy of actually being seen and listened to. That's when it happens. So I just want to make this quick video. I'm not going to wax deep on this. I just want to encourage somebody with an example from my own life. I've never approached making content like I'm at the top of the mountain. I've had a unique life. I've had a lot of successes. I've had a lot of failures, but I don't want to approach this as if like I'm some guru. I'm not your guru, but I'm in the process. Now, I've seen the mountaintop working with E.T. and Inky and Jesse Itzler and Master P and Deion Sanders and all these big names, right? Like, I've seen what the mountaintop looks like. I've got a behind-the-scenes perspective on some things. But at the end of the day, I'm climbing this thing the same way you climbing it. And I want you to know that I've felt that. I've felt that. Man, I'm doing everything right. Why is it not working? Man, I feel like I'm putting in the work. Why am I not getting the recognition I deserve? Why am I not getting the results I feel like I should? You are getting the results that you should. You are. But it don't feel the way that you wanted it to feel. See, you thought that the results that you think you deserve is some overnight success. This is what it looks like. This is what honoring the process looks like. And if you're not willing to do that for years at a time, not for a week, not for a month, but like just right off a decade, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is you want to accomplish, whether you're an athlete, an entrepreneur, whatever it is, just right off a decade. And then if it doesn't work after a decade of genuinely showing up daily and not occasionally, cool, I'll give it to you. Take another path. You have permission to give up and quit. But not before you honor the process. Because I promise you, even when you think and feel like nobody's watching, somebody's watching. Even when you feel like nobody hears you, nobody sees you, somebody hears you, somebody sees you. Even when you feel like you're not making any kind of impact, you're making an impact on somebody. And at the end of the day, to be honest, you make an impact on one, that's enough. That's enough. I will never forget. I was maybe 16, maybe 17 years old. And I had given a speech. I've told this story many times on this channel. I gave a speech on an outdoor deck at a summer gymnastics camp to a group of 16 and 15-year-olds I was in charge of them. I was the head janitor at the camp, and these kids were helping me clean the camp in exchange for free tuition because they came from, families that couldn't afford to put them in camp same way that I had. And I gave this little motivational speech, this raggedy motivational speech. Horrible, horrible, horrible speech. Most Walmart brand motivational speech you've ever heard in your life. Terrified out of my mind. I was an introvert, panic attacks, social anxiety, the whole nine. And I gave this little speech, lasted all of 5 minutes. Stole it completely from a YouTube video from Eric Thomas. Kid walks up to me the next day, hands me a note, doesn't say anything, walks away. Note says, I've been thinking about committing suicide for the last 9 months. What you said really helped. In that moment, my life was ROI positive. Doesn't matter how much money I make, doesn't matter what car I drive, doesn't matter if I travel, doesn't matter if I make an impact on a single other human being. Now, I want more. I want as much as I can get. I want all of it. But at the end of the day, that moment made my life ROI positive. I made one impact on one human being, and I felt like if I get hit by a bus today, God forbid, this was worth me being here. That's all I want for you. And after that, what's crazy is it actually allows you to honor the process more because you don't have the stress and the pressure. You've already done what you came here for. Like, you're good. You did something worthwhile. And I'm not saying you have to save somebody's life or it's got to be dramatic or anything. I'm talking about if you make the cashier at Publix smile today, made their day 1% better. You know what, man? You did something that was worthwhile. You made a difference with the life that you've been gifted, because you didn't earn this opportunity. You were given it. You were given it. You do one little thing like that. Everything from that point forward is ROI positive. Now, let's see how far we can run it, max the thing out. But I think it allows you to step back and say, I've done a good thing, and I'm at peace with that. And now, let's see what else we can do. And let's honor the process. Let's sow some seeds. And let's see what we reap. I just want to encourage somebody today. When you feel like nobody's watching, someone's watching. When you feel like it doesn't matter, it always matters. And I believe that when you treat every interaction like that, when you approach every task like that, when every single thing that you do in life, every minute of every hour of every day, when you approach it with the mentality that this matters, that this is important, the next 30 seconds is important. The how long we've been recording, the 10 minutes that I'm going to sit down here and record this video, it's important. It's not a write-off. It's not whatever happens, happens. It's not meaningless. This moment now is important. When you approach things that way, man, God just has a way. God just has a way of returning the favor. So I hope this encouraged somebody tonight. I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, don't ever forget, every day means every day. Peace.